Welcome to Keep Alive and compliments of the season to you. Not long now before the Christmas break, we certainly do hope you take the time to relax, recharge the batteries and spend time with family and friends. Coming up this month, we're going to hear from Stephen Martin from Marketing for Advisors. We'll also hear from Tony Arthur and Andries von Graan from Partners Life. And we'll also have another segment from Craig Walsh, Core Creative. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you, Jeff.
Stephen, at the Kepa conference in November, you launched a new video marketing initiative for our Kepa members. Would you be kind enough to give us a bit of an overview of the offer?
Of course, Jeff. So Share This Video is a product that we created to help the insurance advice industry better communicate with their clients. One of the things we learned was that advisors were struggling to keep in constant communication with their awesome clients that we know they love and care about. But what we were finding is that advisors were getting a bit of a struggle to kind of get information across to them that they were easily able to enjoy and use. So we put together, it's now 23 videos and we've got another 7 in production, of short, sharp videos that talk about everything from products to solutions to advice through to a variety of different referral techniques that advisors can use to generate more business, better service their clients and look after them. And we put all of these into a beautiful platform which makes it very easy for advisors to both distribute these videos, share them with clients and get them across. And that includes an email newsletter that has a video built into it. It includes social media, sharing them on Facebook and LinkedIn, and also having some smart ways that they can even text message these videos to prospects and clients when they want to get through a key message. Maybe what we could do now, Jeff, is we could actually show one of the example videos.
I think that's a good idea.
Fantastic.
So you're asking yourself the question, do I actually need a will? The answer is no. If you only have a spouse or a partner, they will get everything. Without a will does take longer as the government has to get involved, and we all know how fast they are. If you also have children, after the first $155,000 and your personal bits and bobs, the children will get 2/3 of the remainder of your wealth. Only have children but not a significant other? The government have you covered by dividing your wealth among the kids. There are a few more rules involved, but that is it in a nutshell. But what if you wanted to leave a specific personal item to someone close? Maybe a donation to charity that has been important in your life? Or have you a not so common situation? Then you should consider a will. They can be quick to set up and can give you true peace of mind knowing that you are in control of your wishes. If you have not taken the next step into getting a will, let us know and we can help get you sorted. Tell us a bit about what you want and let us do the rest. It's that easy.
Well, that was an awesome video, and I know that when we launched that at conference, we certainly did have a lot of interest from a lot of our members, and I know already we've got a lot of our people using the video marketing campaign. So fantastic. Well done, Stephen. What's the cost to a Kepa member to be involved?
Thank you, Jeff. Yes, no, I completely agree. We've had a lot of interest. Advisors can see by handing this off, it's a huge benefit. So for Kepa members, as you do with everyone, Jeff, as you make sure you get your members the best deal, we've standardly our pricing for the software is $249 plus GST a month for an advisor. Now, since it's for Kepa, we've actually lowered that to $149. We've taken $100 a month off of it for Kepa members to keep it affordable and usable. So if you're interested in using this offer, we've got a fantastic, and it'll probably be popping up behind me, is if you visit sharethis.video/Kepa, you're able to go to a page where you can see all of the videos, all 23 of them, how everything works. You can even get a demo newsletter in your inbox to see what it'll look like. Easy as that.
I know, and it is easy because we've had a lot of our members, like I said earlier on, utilising your services, and the feedback we've been getting has been really, really great. So well done, congratulations.
Thank you.
How do our members take advantage? I know that you just said they can go onto the website, but should they be contacting you? Should they be contacting the BDMs from Kepa, or how can they go about doing this?
Very easy. So once they've gone to that page and they've realised the benefits, there's 2 ways of doing it. They can either contact us on the page and we can have a chat with them, or they're welcome to contact their BDMs at Kepa, who are aware of how it all works, and they can either pass you on, etc. So we make it nice and simple.
Yeah. Thanks, Stephen. Absolutely superb.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, now it is indeed a great pleasure for me to introduce to you Tony Arthur and Andries von Graan from Partners Life to Keep Alive. Tony recently joined Partners Life and he's the Chief Sales Officer. So tell me, Tony, how have you found the new role in the last few months?
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you for allowing us to be here. Well, I've started with Partners Life as Chief Sales Officer in sort of early mid-October, and it's been really, really great to get on board with what I think is a pretty well-known company, a company that's really passionate about working with people like Kepa and helping New Zealanders and people that own businesses look after their risk assurance needs across the country. So I've had a delightful time. It's always pretty energising getting into a new business where a lot of new people to meet, and obviously I've wanted to spend a lot of time meeting people such as yourself and understanding what the needs and challenges around the industry are. But it's been a real whirlwind sort of first 5-6 weeks, and obviously language differences from the industry I've been in to where we've now it's been a bit of a curve to get up. But as I say, really enjoyed it, really energising.
So what's the role of the Chief Sales Officer?
So pretty simple, really, the way that I look at it. My job is to help people like Andries and yourself understand what your goals and needs are of your advisors and the conversations they're having with clients right across the country. And it's really then working back into the business, into our underwriting, our product, our marketing teams, the claims areas, to make sure that either at a product or a service level, we're doing the very best job for you guys. And it's as simple as that. If we can help you guys be successful, we'll be successful on the back end of it. And that is the only purpose for having a role such as mine. I also sit on the executive team, and at Partners Life, we've got a real ambition to be able to grow our business and be able to close the underinsurance gap in the country. So there are a bunch of other responsibilities I have as part of that. But first and foremost, it's around helping, as I say, the sales managers around the country, your guys, Andries, do a great job making sure that your guys understand our products, the features, how they can help New Zealanders around their insurance needs, and then making sure that at a service level we get things right.
So have you found much of a difference coming from a banking background to the insurance industry?
So first disclosure, I've spent the last decade at the Bank of New Zealand. The last role I had there was National Sales Director, so I was leading the frontline teams across the country, both at branch, mobile banking, retail, wealth. So I had a large responsibility in terms of staff and I guess revenue for the bank. And look, there are really material differences. First and foremost, the amount of oxygen that you have moving to a business like Partners Life, which is incredibly market focused, which is around understanding, as I said before, what's going on in the industry and how we help independent financial advisors and groups such as Kepa, really do a great job upskilling and fixing the financial literacy issues, which include insurance that we have here, has been a really, I guess, piece that I've been able to pick up and bring with me. There are absolute differences. I mean, obviously the distribution model is different, and as I say, some of the language and lexicon used in around the insurance versus the banking piece is a little bit different, but it hasn't been like a jump from, as I say, it's within financial services. I haven't leapt out of an entirely other field, and I guess at its core, both roles have been about looking after customers, and the thing that I get really passionate about, as I say, is getting close to that conversation as possible.
So why Partners Life?
Well, it's I guess a little bit of a New Zealand story. I mean, I made the comment around, real oxygen. Big organisation have strengths and weaknesses, as do growth businesses. I certainly found the bank had a lot of ambition to be able to help New Zealanders be good with money and their needs, but the reality is there's a lot of bureaucracy that will come with big companies. The really refreshing piece around Partners Life, I think, it's an iconic growth story. The people that have founded the business, the people that work within the business, and the people that we work with, such as yourself, have a real desire and a real ability to be able to impact positively people's lives and be there when their lifestyles are interrupted and when things go wrong. And that's, in my view, a very noble cause. I'd like to think that people who are part of the Kepa Group, your advisors, we can all turn our hands potentially to other pieces. I want to believe that what I get out of bed for in the morning has more than just a pay packet and other things associated with it. I want to believe that I'm actually being part of something. Now, Partners Life provides that in two cases. One is, and we spoke about this before we started this interview, there are things that go on in people's lives. And sometimes those things can be absolutely disastrous for individuals, businesses, their loved ones, and the product and the service that we're able to provide through advice to these people makes a real difference when they need it most. And then, as I say, the other piece, being part of an executive team in a business that has, as I say, a real appetite to stamp its footprint on the New Zealand business market, not just the insurance market, but really be part of contributing, to a successful economy and to communities around the country. That's, as I say, something that I feel really passionate about. And as I say, the last number of weeks has just been really exciting to get into a place where really the only conversation that we have is around, as a business, how we're helping advisors have really high quality conversations with customers.
So what's your view on intermediated advice?
Not the first time I've been asked that, given my background coming from a bank. Look, at both a personal level and also, from my time, decade within the bank, I know the difficulties that exist around being able to help individuals and business owners understand sometimes the simple and sometimes the complex risk needs that they have. And the very strongest outcomes that I have ever seen, as I say, both at a personal level in my own family, but also in a business setting, when you have highly qualified, independent advice provided to individuals, that's when you best understand and can walk through people's needs and goals, and then structuring insurance products to be able to make sure that their wealth and the things that are important to them are taken into consideration and protected.
Yeah, excellent. So what do you see as being some of the big issues that are going to be facing intermediaries over the next few years with all the changes that are coming?
So look, I think, what do I think? I think changes, and without trying to be sort of cute about it, changes are continuous, and I think we're probably all looking at the next period of time, and one of the first things that would come to mind would be regulation. We know that the regulators are looking across the industry and coming probably from a couple of different directions. One is, and I've touched on this before, how do we lift financial literacy, which includes the insurance industry and the insurance outcomes for customers? How do we lift that financial literacy across the country? And that's really, in my view, around how do we get the best possible advice to as many people as possible. And then on the other side, bringing structure and process to it. The one thing about sitting within a bank for 10 years, I'd like to think I understand the regulatory environment and probably some of the stakeholders who influence those regulators, the outcomes for the changes and where they're trying to drive. I think, therefore, regulation is going to be a major piece. And I know, as I've got around over the last few weeks and spoken to a number of people, we're all trying to determine or best understand at the moment, without having clear insight around where they're going to land, the reforms and the rules, exactly what environment we're going to be operating under. But the thing that I know, and Andries and I talk about this regularly, and we have a guy called Mark Benisevic who we've actually brought out of the FMA and has joined our business. We are very, very keen and see that we have a duty of care to work with people such as yourself and your advisors across the country, so that when the changes become very clear, we're able to sit alongside the businesses that want to lift up and meet the new guidelines and the regulations and be able to assist them to do that. And we see it as part of our role to be, I guess, in alongside, adding as much value as we can and leading in that space. So regulation is a big one. The other one is technology. And the older and the greyer I get, the less informed I feel at times in terms of technology change. I have two young teenage sons who unfortunately tend to be my technology mentors these days, but I guess we also are operating in a time where either the devices in our pockets, the way that we use information, the way that ultimately customers can gain information we're surrounded by it, and not only are we surrounded by it, we tend to be in and around devices that give us 24/7 access to it all the time. Now there's both upsides to that and also downsides. You drown in the information and it can become very confusing. I think the digital disruption and the ability to be able to bring different ways of being able to surface information to both advisors and also from advisors through to end clients is going to be a really important piece to be focusing on. Because as I say, I think a lot of people these days feel empowered, and they should, around how they can access information across a range of different technologies. But the reality is it's no different to when you're having a face-to-face conversation with an individual. It's really about the quality of the information that they're getting. And so people being aware of things like the advent of robo-advice, data and how data is used these days to understand the behaviours, attitudes, preferences of people and goals. And then obviously, whether it's robo-advice or other, the way that some of this information can be served up to either advisors and or end clients. And I think we're going to see in the insurance and wider financial services industry some real change in that regard.
And a lot of opportunities too. And I know partners, you've geared up, like you said, you appointed Mark from FMA, and we've certainly spent a bit of time working with Mark. What are some of the other areas within partners that you're gearing up to take advantage of some of these opportunities that are going to affect us?
So first and foremost, we see independent financial advice, as I said earlier, is probably the strongest way to be able to help both educate and then be able to provide products that meet the needs around risk for New Zealanders and their businesses. I think there's a couple of things in there. As a insurance company like ours, we need to be able to understand what are the full insurance needs. So we're not just a life company. Obviously we're in medical as well, and being able to understand how do we meet more and more of the needs of New Zealanders and business owners, and being able to make sure that we're able to do them in ways that are both practical and simple, so that we try and take as much of the complexity out of it. As we grow, and I talk to Partners Life as a growth story, making sure that we continue to resource and grow our businesses in the right areas. And that's not just around claims and underwriting teams, but that's also, we deal with huge amounts of information, data every day, whether it's incoming applications, claims coming through, and making sure that our own internal processes, that we can be smart and efficient and effective around how we digitise that information, and we make it as simple as possible for people who use our products, people that communicate with us, but also so that we can determine the best and the right outcomes for the business that we do, as I say, claims and underwriting, as quickly as possible. Because ultimately, your advisors and their clients are wanting answers as quickly as possible, and they're wanting them in the most simple, practical way.
Yeah. Thanks, Tony. That's absolutely phenomenal. Great having you with us today, and really do appreciate the time you've given us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Andries, you and the team have been busy over the last few months, and from feedback we've been receiving, your new product in particular is certainly at the spot.
Absolutely, Jeff. Yes, we've been very busy. Launched new level premiums over the last couple of months, and tell you what, the response from the market has been awesome. So it's going really well. Busy with that. We've launched a new improved new advisor training course, and we had 50 people in the last month going through that. Feedback from that has been absolutely phenomenal. So we're very happy with where we're at, and things are going really well for us at the moment, yes.
So in the level premium side of it, which was your new product release, they've been around for a while now, level premium. So what's your view on them, and what's Partners Life view on them?
Yeah, you see, Jeff, level premium's been around for a long time, but sometimes people look at that and try to sell level premiums in isolation. We don't see it that way. We don't see it that way. It's not the only answer to clients out there. But what we've done is we've had level premiums before as part of our offer, but we only offered it to level to 65 and 80 on life cover only. But those sort of products for us, we had a built-in indexation into it, so it made it hard for advisors to compare our offer with what's offered in the market. And hence we had a look at that and said, well, we should probably do something about it.
So why have you expanded the level premium options?
we've had a lot of feedback from advisors. And, we talk to them all the time, and they said to us, guys, you really have to step up to the mark and do something about this. And we had a good look at our offer, and we had a look and said, yeah, there's a gap. And so we had to close the gap in terms of what's offered in the market, and to enable our advisors to sit down with the client and actually look at all their needs and solve all their problems at once without doing a bit here and a bit at a different place. They could do everything here in one place. So we had a look at that. So we closed that gap, and now we're offering a wide range of competitive level premium options as a result of that.
So what's new?
So what we've done is first of all, we've added, in terms of the life component, we have now added ages 70. We've got 65, 70, 80, and level to 100. But we've also added trauma, severe trauma, income protection, mortgage protection, and TPD as level premium options. I think the biggest difference is with the new range, you can now quote a true level premium without indexation, which makes it easy for advisors to compare apples with apples in the market. But I have to state that you still have the option to add indexation if you want, and if it's needed in this specific situation.
So is there an effect on commissions?
No, there's not. What we've done our homework, we had a good look at it, and we decided to keep our standard commission rates as everybody knows it in the market. So no, we haven't reduced commissions.
That's cool. And your premiums, how competitive do your premiums stack up in the marketplace?
Jeff, our premiums are very competitive, but and I know, all right, we've been around long enough to know that, in certain instances, we might be dearer than some of our competitors. But here's the good news for advisors. Because we've kept our commission rates at those levels, it gives the advisor the option to do some discounts because they have more margin available to bring those sort of specific circumstances where we are more expensive than others into line. So in general terms, we are very competitive on all levels.
So you've got flexibility in commissions and dial down. You've also got flexibility, or more flexibility, in product, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in today's market, and if you look at clients and families and businesses, flexibility is key because every situation is different. There's no two situations that are the same. And what we're doing with our product offer today, allow the advisor complete flexibility to do everything on one policy and one policy fee. So you can do multiple lives with multiple different premium options on one policy, which is fantastic.
What are the things that I should be, as an advisor, I should really be looking out for?
Yeah, I think, Jeff, firstly, I would say, as an advisor, never ever underinsure your client. Always make sure you cover their needs first. Don't sell level premium because you want to sell level premium. You need to look at what's the need, solve the need, and then you could potentially use level premium in combination with YRT to solve the problems those families might have or businesses. I say the second part is that I'm very conscious that a lot of people look at price and want to sell price. Price is not everything. Making sure your clients have adequate cover is more important than price. And the last thing, from my point of view, is that with Partners Life, we have a lot of built-in benefits into our standard product. So it's important for an advisor to be aware of those. And an example of that is early stage cancer benefits, as well as TPD benefits that we got built into our trauma and DI covers. Now, if you do compare our policies with any other competitor, you better make sure you tick all those boxes when you do the quotes with the other companies. Because if you don't, you will not be able to compare apples with apples. So those are the three things I believe is critically important.
Thanks, Andries. Hey, listen, where do our members go to get more information and get a further update?
Jeff, it's very simple. just pick up the phone, talk to your sales managers, whoever they are, and they can come and sit down and have a chat. You can phone me. Anybody at Partners, the doors are open.
Thanks, Andries. Hey, thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you again, and thanks very much, both of you, for sharing with us and giving us that update on Partners Life.
Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome. It is now a pleasure for me to introduce to you Craig Walsh from Core Creative. Welcome, Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig Welsh, and on behalf of myself and the team at Core, I'd really like to thank you for your business and support throughout 2017. And as a special treat, I'm going to show you some of my bloopers over the last year. I think... We've all been there. Well, you've... Tip number 1. Like and trust your friends, right? Cheers. Cheers with no cheers. Cheers. Solid. That you would have shown them that they for platters. And I have no idea what I'm saying now. And great. Really? I'm trying to go, hey, thanks, Jeff. Thanks. Hey, and another great thing we do with the company is we all get to choose our own posters. Check them out. So just last weekend, Mike was out with his camera, I was out exercising, and this is what he got. Oh yeah! Hey, we really look forward to working with you further in 2018 and helping you to make a real difference in your business through the incorporation of video. So thank you for all your continued support, and we wish you and your family a safe and happy holiday season. So from all of us here at Core, Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Craig. That's absolutely awesome. Well, that's all from us this month, folks. Have a fantastic Christmas break. I hope you enjoy the holiday season and come back refreshed and raring to go in 2018. Don't forget the Kepa Christmas drinks, Advisor Christmas drinks around the country. If we don't get the opportunity of seeing you at those, we'll catch you in the new year. Bye for now.